Jurassic World, Dominion. 4 years after dinosaurs have been released on the central area, people have needed to change in accordance with their presence. The Mos-Ceresus seen pulling a fishing boat down subsequent to snatching its enclosure of fish with its jaws. Many individuals have kicked the bucket from dino-related episodes, and keeping in mind that many figure the ancient creatures ought to be completely killed off, others have tracked down a way in the bootleg market to sell and convey caught haul of ancient creatures unlawfully. The public authority gives control to Biosyn Hereditary Qualities, an organization drove by Louis Dodgson, Campbell Scott, with the guarantee to keep the dinosaurs held at a safe haven in Italy's Dolomite Mountains to additional examination them for drug purposes. News inclusion likewise noticed that Maisie Lockwood, Isabella Lesson, has vanished after her real essence as a clone was unveiled. At an office in Nevada, Clara Deering, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Zia Rodriguez, Daniela Pineda, save a child dinosaur from an unlawful rearing site. They join Franklin Webb, Equity Smith, as they get away from in a van, yet safety officers pursue them until the three figure out how to lose them. Franklin and Zia tell Claire they can never again keep this sort of work up, and keeping in mind that they support Claire and her undertakings, they are moving on to occupations that are more secure for them. Someplace close to the cold mountains in Nevada, Owen Grady, Chris Pratt, is riding a pony to fight an enormous dinosaurs. After he's finished, he returns to the lodge that he imparts to Claire and Maisie, as he and Claire are presently her new parents. Despite the fact that Maisie likes to wander from home and witness the dinosaurs ashore, Claire and Owen attempt to keep her concealed for dread that somebody is after her. This makes her get irritated with them, and she has likewise become inquisitive about Charlotte Lockwood, whom she was cloned from. Sufficiently sure, hired fighters drove by Rain Delacourt, Scott Murkiness, are keeping an eye on them in the forest, Maisie being their objective. Not a long way from the lodge, Blue the raptor has abiogenetically duplicated a youngster, who Maisie later names Beta. They go hunting together. In Texas, 2 kids are pursued by a colossal multitude of beetles. This is brought to the consideration of paleobotanist Hallie Sattler, Laura Dern. She examines the ranch where the insects went after and gobbled up every one of the yields. Ellie is let by the youngster's mom know that the adjoining crops, which were immaculate by the beetles, are planted by Biosyn. Ellie reunites with Dr. Alan Ward, Sam Neill, who is working with other trying scientists. She carries a caught grasshopper to him and makes sense of the circumstance, expecting that in the event that they spread, they might wreck the pecking order. Alan and Ellie figure that Biosyn probably made them so their yields are that remaining parts. Ellie needs to get DNA from one more beetle at the Biosyn asylum and requests Alan's assistance. She was at that point welcomed by their close buddy, Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. In spite of showing some reluctance, Alan eventually consents to join. Back at the lodge, Blue and Beta happen upon Owen, Claire, and Maisie. They're completely shocked to see Blue has become a mother. The soldiers of fortune before long take their action and catch Beta. Maisie rides her bicycle across the scaffold and is additionally taken by the bad guys. Owen sees this and gets Claire to pursue them. Claire says she realizes who can help them. Claire contacts Franklin, who currently works for the CIA. He assists them with getting data on Delacourt and guides them toward Owen's previous associate at Jurassic World, Barry Simbine, Omar Sy, who can assist with taking them to any place the hired fighters are taking Maisie and Beta. Alan and Ellie show up at the asylum and meet Ramsey Cole, Maimo Tuathy, Biosyn's head of interchanges. He acquaints them with Dodgson, who guarantees they are chipping away at something progressive and earth-shattering. Alan and Ellie are accompanied to find Ian giving a talk. A while later, he goes along with them and cautiously lets Ellie know that the grasshoppers are to be sure essential for an evil plan by Biosyn. In the interim, Dodgson meets with Dr. Henry Wu, B.D. Wong, who has since become sorry of his activities in aiding make a big difference for these tests, as he takes note of that the grasshoppers have developed at a disturbing rate. In Malta, a partner of Dogson's, Sonois Antus, Deacon Lackman, calls him to say that Maisie and Beta have been moved independently to Biosyn HQ. Owen and Claire additionally show up and rejoin with Barry. He carries them to a bootleg market dinosaur ring, where creatures are being sold, eaten, or compelled to battle. Claire meets Kayla Wantz, Tawanda insightful, a pilot who flies for the sellers. She cautions Claire about meddling with anybody there, however at last consents to assist Claire with tracking down Maisie. As this occurs, Owen and Barry stay stowed away and witness Delacourt meeting with Santos to carry a Triceratops. The two stand up to embattle Delacourt and his men. Owen orders him to say where Maisie and Beta are, and he simply gives him Santos' name before he gets eaten by dinosaurs in the battling ring. Claire battles Santos and discovers that Maisie is set out toward Biocene, and she surpasses a free dinosaur prior to joining Kayla. Barry captures Santos, yet not before she sicks one of her dinosaurs on Owen, who is riding a bike to find Claire and Kayla. He figures out how to load onto Kayla's plane similarly as she is preparing to take off with Claire, and Owen utilizes the cruiser to knock the dino off the slope and into the sea. Maisie shows up at HQ and meets Wu. He clears up for her that while she is a clone of Charlotte's, she is likewise her genuine girl since she brought forth her. Maisie watches video film of Charlotte, Elva Quaver, and sees when she was pregnant with Maisie. Charlotte experienced a hereditary sickness, however she figured out how to change Maisie's DNA to eliminate all hints of the illness. Wu trusts that by concentrating on Maisie's DNA, he can switch the Beetle episode by modifying their DNA. Alan and Ellie slip into the regulation space for the insects to get a DNA test, similarly as Maisie attempts to escape with Beta. Dodgson sounds the caution, which makes the beetles swarm around Alan and Ellie, yet they figure out how to get out securely. They meet Maisie, who can say for sure what their identity is. She goes along with them as they run. They are found by Ramsey, who consents to help them since he views Biocene's work as untrustworthy. He sends them away in a monorail to somewhere safe. Ellie lets Maisie know that she knew Charlotte as an understudy, and says she was a splendid and kind individual. In the air, Kayla's plane is gone after by a genuine Quetzalcoatlus, compelling Claire to discharge and fall into the trees after they tear her parachute. Owen and Kayla collide with a close-by ice lake. They endeavor to securely advance across it, however are pursued by another dinosaur. The two make it across without a moment to spare and go to move Claire. She gets down from the tree yet needs to unobtrusively dodge a Pyroraptor that has been following her in the woods. Owen and Kayla stow away as the T-Rex shows up to eat. However she is held off by a Giganotosaurus, a lot bigger hunter. They figure out how to get to Claire. Alan, Ellie, and Maisie are clearing their path through caves and find dinosaurs going after, provoking them to run until they make it outside. In the meantime, Ian verbally smacks Dodgson around for his activities, and Dodgson fires him. Ian works with Ramsey to return to Ian's companions. He assists them with getting away from the dinosaurs by liberating them from the fenced-in area. Dodgson then, at that point, burns down the Beetle lab to obliterate proof. The flaring grasshoppers break free and start flying out of the shadows. Alan, Ellie, Ian, and Maisie endeavor to beat a huge dinosaur in a van yet are thumped down a slope. Fortunately, they land close to Owen, Claire, and Kayla, rejoining the previous two with Maisie. Claire likewise will meet Ellie while Owen meets Alan. The gathering is then followed by the Giganotosaurus, who nearly gets Maisie. However she gets away. Ian battles it off by tossing a consuming material into its mouth. While the legends work on a break plan, Biocene begins to catch fire, compelling the representatives to escape. Dodgson endeavors to snatch his work, and Ramsey lets him know off one final time prior to leaving. Dodgson endeavors to move away in the monorail, yet is cornered by a triplet of Dilophosaurus, who make a feast out of him. Beta happens upon the legends and is calmed so they can securely bring her along. They are likewise found by Wu, who has figured out how to modify the insect's DNA to stop the spread. Similarly as the gathering readies their leave, the Giganotosaurus returns, however is then gotten between the T-Rex and a Therizinosaurus. The people escape to stay away from the dino battle, and it closes when the T-Rex drives the Giganotosaurus into the Therizinosaurus paws. After getting back to somewhere safe, Alan and Ellie revive their sentiment and later head to Washington, D.C. to affirm against Biocene. Wu's work is a triumph and stops the grasshopper spread. Owen, Claire, and Maisie get back and rejoin Beta with Blue. Prior to withdrawing once more into the woods, Blue offers one final look with Owen. One last voiceover declares that dinosaurs and people should adjust to coincide. Jurassic World, Dominion. 4 years after dinosaurs have been released on the central area, people have needed to change in accordance with their presence. The Mosasaurus seen pulling a fishing boat down subsequent to snatching its enclosure of fish with its jaws. Many individuals have kicked the bucket from dino-related episodes, and keeping in mind that many figure the ancient creatures ought to be completely killed off, others have tracked down a way in the bootleg market to sell and convey caught haul of ancient creatures unlawfully. The public authority gives control to Biosyn Hereditary Qualities, an organization drove by Louis Dogson, Campbell Scott, with the guarantee to keep the dinosaurs held at a safe haven in Italy's Dolomite Mountains to additional examination them for drug purposes. News inclusion likewise noticed that Maisie Lockwood, Isabella Lesson, has vanished after her real essence as a clone was unveiled. At an office in Nevada, Clara Deering, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Zia Rodriguez, Daniela Pineda, save a child dinosaur from an unlawful rearing site. They join Franklin Webb, Equity Smith, as they get away from in a van, yet safety officers pursue them until the three figure out how to lose them. Franklin and Zia tell Claire they can never again keep this sort of work up, and keeping in mind that they support Claire and her undertakings, they are moving on to occupations that are more secure for them. Someplace close to the cold mountains in Nevada, Owen Grady, Chris Pratt, is riding a pony to fight an enormous dinosaurs. After he's finished, he returns to the lodge that he imparts to Claire and Maisie, as he and Claire are presently her new parents. Despite the fact that Maisie likes to wander from home and witness the dinosaurs ashore, Claire and Owen attempt to keep her concealed for dread that somebody is after her. This makes her get irritated with them, and she has likewise become inquisitive about Charlotte Lockwood, whom she was cloned from. Sufficiently sure, hired fighters drove by Rain Delacourt, Scott Murkiness, are keeping an eye on them in the forest, Maisie being their objective. Not a long way from the lodge, Blue the Raptor has abiogenetically duplicated a youngster, who Maisie later names Beta. They go hunting together. In Texas, two kids are pursued by a colossal